Hello and welcome to the David Thompson episode of the Hoop Theory Podcast, aka episode 73, which is in honor of his career-high 73 points at Detroit in 1978. My name is Logan Wortman, recording this one on the afternoon of Tuesday, February 6th, and as usual, I am joined by my zealous co-host, Jacob Roth. Jacob, how does it feel to be on the David Thompson episode?
Feels pretty good. Famously, Michael Jordan said in his Hall of Fame speech, right? I think.
Yeah.
I said famously and then didn't remember where. But I believe it was his Hall of Fame speech. There is no Michael Jordan without the NC State legend, David Thompson.
Mm-hmm. Skywalker. Yeah.
And that is 73.
And this is also the episode that is back in November, I think. I saw in our text history that you wanted Jimmer Fredette to be for this episode. You said because he scored 73. I looked up his career high in China is 75. I don't know if that was the same game and he just so happened to score an extra bucket or something, or if there was two separate games. If he has a 73 and a 75, because that would be legendary. But so we're going to do Jimmer on episode 75. For those of you who have seen that clip that we put out of Jacob, I guess, petitioning, trying to rally our Hoop Theory fans together to get Jimmer on an episode name, or, the muse of an episode.
Jimmer has scored 70 or more points 4 times.
Wow.
He has a 70, a 75, the 73, and then there's just 3 of them. But there's still 3 times that he has scored 70.
That's wild.
Even in China, that is still wild.
I'm pretty sure nobody's done that in the NBA other than Wilt Chamberlain. I think he's the only one to have 3 70-plus games, I believe. I think he has a 72, I want to say, and a 78.
Have you been seeing this conspiracy that Wilt never scored 100? I feel like
that's been a thing for a long time.
No, I know but I feel like it's being fed into my feeds more than it ever has been.
Yeah.
Or the internet has picked it up and everybody's like, it is kind of crazy that there is no evidence other than the picture.
Or is there not the radio broadcast? I'm pretty sure the radio broadcast exists, but again, people don't trust that because I would
trust
wrong.
Radio. From back, that'd be.
There's at least clips, I believe, of the radio. There's sound bites.
I don't know. I've always just believed it.
Yeah, there's no video of it because they didn't even have any cameras in the arena at the time. Not every game they recorded back then.
Yeah, so that is the thing that is interesting because people always there's a video of him and Bill Russell about to fight.
Yeah,
and they're like, why is there a video of that but not of him scoring 100 points? I'm like, well. If those two were playing,
it probably were.
It could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been a national champion game. It could have been for. I almost said a World Series. I don't know why I thought. I do know why I thought World Series because I've been thinking baseball in preparation for today's episode, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, because the game he scored 100 in was in March. It was March 2nd of 1962, I believe. And so that was just a random. In the slog of the NBA season, the very end of the season, probably not a very important game because I'm pretty sure the Knicks were pretty terrible too that season.
Because that's who did it too.
Yeah, he's playing the Knicks. Who the center that was guarding him that game was 6'4", something like that. But it's a high school center. That's how big high school centers are.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
because. I think our high school basketball team, there was...
In our specific class, we didn't have anybody taller than 6'2", honestly.
But there was everyone, except for shout out to the point guard, Josh.
Yeah, everybody was around 6 foot for the most part.
And then Josh.
Yeah.
Legend.
Short king.
Anyway, that was a short king. Keep your head up, short king.
Yeah.
Keep that crown on your head.
He's Isaiah Thomas, the Celtics Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. But anyways... So we will have Jimmer's episode. He will get his just due in a couple episodes from now, 75. Because I don't believe there's anything NBA-wise that, 75 isn't that important of a number, to be honest. So that'll be good there. And then moving on to, I guess, what we want to talk about today. We're talking about the Knicks, which is a a great segue to a topic we wanted to touch on, which is LeBron's just passive aggressiveness continuing into his later years, where he's continuing to, in unhappy situations in terms of basketball fit or team performance, he's starting to, float out there some rumors, some just direct tweets himself that are very cryptic, but also not at the same time, because you can tell very easily what he's saying. For those who don't know, he tweeted out an hourglass emoji recently and specifically chose, because apparently there's multiple hourglass emojis. I didn't know this before, but apparently there's more than just one. And he chose to use the time is up hourglass emoji. But I saw somebody point out, though, if you're viewing it through like a Mac or like on desktop on a computer with Mac, then it's just the halfway filled, hourglass. There we go. So I think a reporter, somebody just needs to ask him, like, what kind of device did you tweet this off of, to see what, but I'm sure it was off of his phone, most likely. I think you can actually even see that when you look on Twitter, can't you? See what
it would say, probably. Let me give a quick little gander here.
Yeah.
Like LeBron, we all know is kind of like the king of like nothing is not intentional.
Yeah.
Oh, its time is up. Looking at it on my computer.
But you're on a PC. Maybe if because I'm using a Mac right now, I could test the thing that I heard.
He tweeted at 1:30 a.m., which I also think got people like,
yeah.
What's going on, LeBron?
Yeah, I believe he was in a different city at the time too, when they were on. It was after a road game or something. Yeah, on mine, it is actually full. Or it's about half, but more full than empty. Or more empty than full, I guess I should say. But there's still some up in the top on Mac.
I think that is relevant and kind of a joke. That's fine, whatever.
Mac thing?
That part of this whole, the hourglass, how full or how empty it is. I think the point he was probably trying to get across is like...
yeah, no, I get you. I just thought it was funny.
I think that, it is funny that people went down that level of rabbit hole with LeBron when he left a way more of a kind of a message, a subliminal message, when he was doing a post-game interview and was wearing a Knicks towel, but almost like where like in country music videos, the labels for beer is always facing out so you can read it, like placement. You could very clearly see his shoulders draped across his shoulders, whereas a New York Knicks towel. And people were losing their marbles over it. And then Omaha legend Brian Windhorst had to be like, it's not what you think, everyone. It means something, but it's not what you think. And I think at this point, like, Brian Windhorst has just a red phone in his office that he picks up, and it's LeBron on the other end of the line every time. And he's like, what do you want me to tweet, LeBron? I'll tell people. What do you want? What do you need? What do you need them to know? And then it goes from there. I feel like that's pretty real. I think that's exactly what happens. Anyway, there's just all this speculation. We're coming up on the trade deadline. LeBron apparently was like using the Knicks as like leverage for the Lakers to get their like, hey, let's commit. Let's go all in. I'm getting older. Let's commit at this trade deadline. But then it sounds like the Lakers are standing firm. Like, no, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of confusing.
I feel like he's probably not that he's trying to force his way to the Knicks, although that would be an interesting thing we could take a look at if that would work and if that would be how good of a move I guess that would be for everyone involved. But I think more so what he's doing is what he's done in the past, which is he's like bluffing, I guess, or trying to make the team call his bluff, of that he's threatening to act like he's wanting to make a move to go somewhere else and using that as leverage for the team to then mix things up and try to improve here at the deadline. He's done that many times before. A lot of people call LeBron, the GM of all the teams he's been on, which I think more accurately is actually more like this, where he won't say anything publicly or really like specifically say what needs to change and blah, blah, blah. But he'll just like he'll drop morsels here and there that are very obvious big morsels to pick up on of what he is thinking or how he's feeling about things, So it's just funny to see him at almost 40 years old still pulling that card, still doing that. I'm sure all the young guys on the Lakers are just always on their toes, like don't know whether or not they're in his circle of trust or if they're on the chopping block, that type of thing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The Lakers, though, have been struggling a lot ever since they won that in-season tournament that you did not, you were not a fan of them raising up a banner for, obviously.
No, okay, I was not, but I think we talked about it in the episode. I just think that, like, it having the same amount of space as a Kobe championship, I just think that they should, all of the in-season tournament banners should just be jammed into one banner.
Mm-hmm.
And you just add years when you get it done. I just think that would be more
efficient. And also
that would just feel more correct.
Yeah, more representing how much it's worth, basically.
Yes. Also, thinking here, we're looking at the LeBron thing, and this is hoop theory. So theoretically, let's say LeBron walks into the office and says, you know what, Mr. Pelinka and Mrs. Buss, I'm going to play for the Knicks, and there's not a diddly darn thing you can do about it. Make a package that works.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks have a couple interesting things that they could offer up. Big name, whatever you want to say. Julius Randle is probably like what would be your quote-unquote piece of value you would send over. He's making $28.2 million over 3 years. And so that doesn't work straight up with LeBron. Obviously, would not be straight up for LeBron, but with picks, you'd have to add more. But they have a giant, just French block of money that plays almost no minutes.
Yeah.
Evan Fournier is also sitting there making a smooth per
18
year.
mil.
I'm not going to do the math. 18 mil, just shy of 19 over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's their yearly, but just how many?
It's like 18.6, I think. I just saw it not too long ago.
And if you add the two together, they do get to LeBron's money.
Yeah.
So my question is, and the Knicks have quite a bit of capital. They've got a top 4 protected from Milwaukee next year, a top 10 protected from Dallas this year, which seems like those will probably be
hit.
Knicks picks.
Yeah.
The Knicks hypothetically will have 2 first rounds this year, so you could do like the Knicks own first, the Dallas first, and then that Milwaukee first, which is top 4 protected. Odds are Milwaukee will not have that pick. That'll be a Knicks pick.
Mm-hmm.
Is 3 first, Julius Randle and Evan Fournier enough for LeBron?
LeBron at 39 years old in year 21? Probably, I would think. I'd be willing to bet the Lakers would try to get more. But at the end of the day, if LeBron's not wanting to stay with you, it'd be kind of hard to turn down, getting those picks and at least something back. It's really not that great though for the Lakers side of things. Like if they came away with that would be like a D plus. Like it's still passing. It's a passing grade, but it's like a D letter grade. So that wouldn't be great for the Lakers, but it would be better than just him walking in free agency or something like that. But I don't think that's going to be something that they need to worry about because I think he's locked up on his contract for a while. I want to say. And
another thing that I didn't realize until just now, the trade exceptions aren't enough. The Knicks also have 2 trade exceptions to work with, but they're not going to be enough to equal Fournier, so it does not matter. But just because I'm sure the Lakers don't want to just pay Evan Fournier also to most likely be a French block of money on the bench.
Well, yeah, but if the Lakers are trading LeBron, I'm sure they're going full rebuild, in which case they wouldn't mind having. They probably would end up either in a buyout or. I don't know, for some reason, somebody also wants to use Fournier's money in a deal to get another star moved to another place, and then they get a pick for their involvement in that trade, something like that.
And the Knicks have quite a bit of first to work with, like quite a bit actually, because they've got the Knicks, if they don't trade anything, I think they have 4 first-round picks this year.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, they don't. Detroit's and Washington's are both protected 1 through 18 and then 1 through 12, so those will not be Knicks picks.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out, it's a major detail that I missed, actually. LeBron's actually he's still doing the 1-and-1 thing. I thought he was done doing that with his contracts as when he got older. Like he wanted more safety, I guess, insurance. But he's still doing 1-for-1s, which is when a player signs a 2-year deal, but the second year is a player option. So they can technically They can opt out of that year every offseason and then sign a new one that's worth more, because if you're signing it the next season, you can get even more than if you were to sign this summer before, you know. So they do it that way. Yeah. But so he has his player option for next season.
Less security for like a longevity type of thing, but you have a lot more like he hypothetically is a free agent every year depending on what his heart desires.
Exactly.
Which is a nice thing to have, especially in this situation. And that's why when people were confused when LeBron's like, I'd like to play with Bronny, his son, if he could, the way he was doing contracts allows him to actually do that and not just be like, hypothetically want to have that happen.
Yeah.
But let's say that they get it figured out. Lakers take all that. They're worse. They're going tank mode. Julius Randle's gone, and you replace it with LeBron James. The Knicks are like insanely the favorite by miles now, right?
I don't know if I would say favorite, but they would be in the inner circle for sure of title
I just think the fit is so good.
Yeah, it'd be a lot better than what both of the situations have right now. I mean, the Knicks are really good right now anyways, but I think that's the piece that definitely would put them over the top, is having a superstar like LeBron. As good as Jalen Brunson is, we don't know if he can be like the 1A on a championship team yet, you know? But certainly as like the sidekick to LeBron could be a very, very dangerous piece there. And the Knicks just have such a good defense built around what they have there. Adding LeBron into that could help a lot with, you know, LeBron's situation, being able to just fit as a little piece into what's already a very strong, cohesive defense. But the Knicks also are lacking size though right now with Mitchell Robinson out for the year, which hurts. Isaiah Hartenstein has filled in pretty well, but you know, he's still probably a backup big in the NBA. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. And there's like a couple guys that they tried to go get, and they moved things around when they went and got OG, but Precious Achiuwa at 6'8" isn't big enough to really get anything
he's like
done.
A small ball 5 for sure. Yeah.
And so that is probably the one thing that like this, you feel like this team is like really missing, is that size. Mm-hmm. And LeBron is not giant, but he plays bigger than he is.
Yeah,
he is giant.
If only he could bring Anthony Davis with him to the Knicks.
Well, then at that point, I think you're just making like a
fantasy team. Yeah.
A fantasy team. Honestly, a fantasy team of AD, LeBron, Brunson, OG, and who would your last guy be?
I don't know. Josh Hart.
Reeves.
Reeves is coming over
too. Just send them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a thing I think that theoretically that would be a very, very fun thing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would just be...
It would work well. They would maybe want a bit more shooting out there would be the only thing I would think. So like size and shooting. But like the defense, just people who are playing around LeBron being like very capable plug and play guys, just feels like that would be a pretty good match. I still feel like they'd probably be a little bit lower than the Celtics, personally. I'd say they'd be probably second behind the Celtics. Out west, though, obviously you have the Nuggets, but I'd say, honestly, my favorite out west outside of the Nuggets right now is the Clippers. And I think that they are definitely in that inner circle now of three teams, I'd say. If the Knicks were to pull this trade off, getting LeBron and not give up much else outside of Randall,
at like future,
then, or I mean, it doesn't really matter in terms of future, but giving up anything in terms of what their team is right now, you know, they're probably the fourth team added into that what is now the 3-team group. So
no, because I think the Clippers have kind of turned into the monster that like you were worried about when they got Harden.
Yeah,
like they've got stuff figured out now. They are slowly, if those guys can stay healthy, there's just going to be like kind of problems because of what they can do. They're just like a super all-star, insanely juiced version of what we kind of look at the Raptors and we're like, oh, they could be kind of fun. They're all kind of these big, good defensive wing guys, and they have a couple playmakers. Just that, except everyone is way better at it than what the Raptors had.
Yeah,
it's just.
I mean, Clippers have always been like...
It is literally an all-star lineup from like 5 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy. The Norm Powell also being on this team is just another thing that's just like, how that's not even fair. Like Norm Powell is coming off your bench, and is he really even the sixth man? Because Russ is the sixth man right now. You know, it's just wild that they have that much. And then also just their centers, like they have no great center, but like they have Ivica Zubac, who is like at least a close to starter level. Like, yeah, I would say he is. He is like an average, maybe a little bit below average starting center in the NBA. Ivica Zubac is. And then right after him, you have like a really, really good backup in Mason Plumlee. And then somebody who's like a decent backup and really, really great as like a third string center, and that's Daniel Tice. So they're really just filled out all over the place. Like every position, they've got guys for days, and they have the depth, but also like the top end with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and also James Harden on top of that. So it's been good. Also, Russ embracing the bench role has been huge. Him coming off the bench, just doing what he does best at this point in his career, has been great. And I'd say the biggest thing is Kawhi being healthy, because he's played 45 games this year, which is that every game? They've probably played more than 45, right? Yeah, they've played 49. That's
pretty close to all.
Yeah, he's missed 4 games.
It's got to be pretty close to all of them.
Mm-hmm. 4 games. He's on pace to miss like 7 games on the season, which that's like, I don't know when the last time that's happened is. I don't know if that's ever happened, to be honest, with a Kawhi Leonard season.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't
realize that he played that many.
The least he's ever missed was 8. And that was his MVP level season in 17. He played 74 games.
And that is, he's on pace for that just about.
Yeah, a little bit better than that. Yeah.
That's crazy. Other trade deadline stuff. We've seen our buddy texted us a weird beat. Sixers just give up and start over.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
Embiid out for the season. Yeah, it's tough.
With Embiid out for the season, just kind of giving up and getting something out of Tobias Harris, and just kind of trying to build around Maxey and then have Embiid come back next year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying to really commit, just get someone's entire draft for the next decade for Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I would think so. It's just the soft rebuild never really seems to work very well. Like
the most you can do as a team is like retool. You can't rebuild. You can flipping Smart for Porzingis isn't a rebuild. That's a retooling, shuffling assets around. But you can't be like, we're actively gonna take a step back and dive into the draft.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Get more assets.
When you say rebuild,
with an already good team.
When you're saying rebuild, to me, I think to most people that means that you're investing in the draft to build more. So like what the Warriors did. They used all of their injuries that they suffered a few years ago to try to do this soft rebuild thing where they drafted some young talent, got some good picks, tried to make that work, and just it never really. Honestly, they would have been way better off just looking back. And I think a lot of people were saying this at the time. They were criticizing them of like what they should be doing is moving these assets to other teams who value those things more than they would, because what is James Wiseman on the Warriors? Even if he would have turned out to be close to what he was supposed to be, he was going to need time to develop. And you're trying to win a championship if you're the Warriors like every single year. It's going to be tough.
Your window, your engine is dying. It's getting old.
Yeah.
Like your core of guys that work. Because there was a big thing. Klay is now starting to get benched in fourth quarter clutch time.
Yep.
And young guys are starting to play there. And that screenshot is just the current state of the Warriors. Steph scores 60, they still lose, and then Klay's talking about getting benched in the postgame. And Klay handled it better than I thought he would, because Klay kind of gets weird about, you're not an all-star anymore, Klay. It's okay. He gets kind of weird about that.
He went from being one of the most likable guys in the NBA to one of the most disliked. Dislikable, not even just disliked. I think it's warranted. You wanna talk trash? 4 rings. He
just throws up a 4 at you.
Mm-hmm.
For anything. He'll look at a bench, a bench will chirp at him when he's trying to take corner 3. He'll just hit a 4 and run down the court.
Yeah. And him being so appalled at him not making the top 75 of players of all time list was Dude, chill out. Like, why do you think you're that? Do you think like you're top 25 or something? Like,
if you would have put on some big boy pants and went and like tried to be the captain of your own ship and were as good as you were, you probably would have been, because you would have had these crazy video game numbers, because you would have been the number one option. And he's a good shooter. It's not like he's a bad wasn't a bad basketball player.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if he would have not, after that first contract, after the first championship, went out and, like, not just been what ended up being, like, the third fiddle.
I don't know if that would make him any better all time. I feel like him in his role, like, I don't think Klay Thompson in any other situation is as good as the Klay Thompson all time as we've seen him be. Because, yes, he sacrificed a bit when KD came. I'd say that's the main thing. When KD came is when maybe that slippage happened. But if it was just like the original Big Three Warriors,
2015 Warriors, how they operated.
Yeah, like Klay would be that. Him as a number one option to me is like, what are you gonna do? Like, just run him off of screens all game? Like, it's like JJ Redick, using him as your number one option. You know what I mean? Like, he's better than JJ Redick. I'm not. You know what I mean? But he's not a creator with the ball in his hands. You're not running pick and roll with him. You're not like. You know what I mean? It's like
30 points and 8 dribbles is like his whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
what is that stat line? Is it 30 points and 8 dribbles?
I think it's 11. I want to say it's 11 dribbles. I think,
but it's something like that.
Yeah,
and like 4 of them were like gathered dribbles, where like he caught it and then dribbled one.
And I think it was more than 30. It was like it was a big high number. But yeah, I saw somebody not too long ago say that Klay was the 3rd best shooting guard of all time.
Shooting guard?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say shooter and then end. I'm like, that's a bit high.
Nope. Yeah.
But shooting guard.
Shooting guard.
Wow.
And I was like, what are you talking about?
Is he top 20?
He's probably top 20. He's like the thing is
closer to 20 than 3.
Yeah. Like the guy, when I pushed back on it, the guy was like, because this was on Instagram, but the guy was like, all right, sorry, Jordan, Kobe, Harden, then Klay. And I was like, still, no. Like, how is Klay not way closer to Reggie Miller and Ray Allen? And I think might be even lower than Reggie Miller and Ray Allen, like, to be fair.
I would say lower.
Yeah, and that's more like closer to 10 range. You know what I mean? So he's definitely not in the top 3 or 4. But the thing is, like, what I'm saying is, Ray Allen, how Ray played on the Celtics and the Heat later on, that's like what Klay's the best at. But Ray, when we saw him playing with the Bucks and with the Sonics, was like a pick and roll ball handler and was like a focal point of an offense on like a decent team, like a really, really good player.
A slashing 3-point menace.
Yeah. Like if he came along later, if he came along like more into the modern era, Ray Allen would be like a legit number one option being used like the right way, because back then they didn't use him enough from behind the 3-point line as they should have.
I don't think Klay is a top 10 shooting guard.
Yeah, I don't think top 10.
There's like AI.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry West.
Dwayne Wade.
Yep.
Iceman George Gervin.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm trying to think if I'm missing like a big one.
I mean, Elgin Baylor.
Is he a 3 or is he a 2?
He goes either way. You could put it.
Elgin Baylor is better than Klay Thompson. Period.
Yeah, Clyde Drexler, for sure.
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady,
Vince Carter.
T-Mac. That's getting closer. Yeah, we're getting closer to Klay though. You know, so, but like, it's just, I don't know. I don't think Klay should. We got into a whole thing about where Klay ranks all time. I don't remember why. I think it was because of the top 75 thing. So basically what we started talking about was how Klay, his attitude, you know, is kind of brash and has become pretty unlikable. But how do we get there? I'm trying to follow the train backwards in my memory.
The Warriors. We were just talking about the Warriors and then we brought up...
Yeah, but why?
Like, I was like, we were talking about Kuminga or
the soft rebuild thing.
Like the soft rebuild. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So the
Not
Sixers.
Kuminga, you said Wiseman.
Yeah, the Sixers trying to do the soft rebuild thing. So it's just something that I don't think has worked when we've seen it put into practice. And it's usually it's almost always the better choice to move those picks, the capital that you do get. Like, it's not bad to try to tank this year and get a pick. Like, I'm not saying don't do that. But if you do that, I wouldn't necessarily try to draft it makes more sense in the Sixers case, honestly, because of Tyrese Maxey being as young as he is.
Yes, because like if you want to say, let's say the Embiid, it's not closed, but I don't know.
His window.
It makes more sense because you have a guy that has that level of potential to be a top 10 in the league at some point.
Yeah. It still has a lot of years left to get there, you know?
Yeah. So it makes a little bit more sense because you have the Maxey as opposed to the Warriors who are just using career 3 of Steph. Mm-hmm. You have like bad ankle Steph, then like I'm that guy Steph, and then old man Steph.
Yeah.
And old man Steph's career is young, but he's still old man Steph.
Yeah.
So.
And then trying to bring in young guys that need to develop and everything. So, Tyrese Maxey's kind of in this in-between period, though, because he's good enough to be a co-star right now to contend, you know? But he's also young enough to have the future of somebody that you can build around as a star. So, there's definitely, I feel like the Sixers are, and Daryl Morey in the front office there, is definitely at a crossroads right now. And I don't know what's the better option, to be honest, because of how Embiid is proven to not be able to stay healthy. Not his fault, you know, but it's just unfortunate. But as great of a season that Embiid was having this year, it's hard to be like, we're just moving off of that guy. You know what I mean?
Yes. Even honestly, if this year was last year, I don't think I hate it. I'd be like, yeah, trade high, go for it. Mm-hmm. But how insane this year was looking to be until he got hurt is tough. But one thing that the Sixers can do, just look, and it's not going to shock anybody whose name I'm about to say. Sam Presti does a pretty good job. Just give a look at him. What did they do when they had a young point guard and they were struggling around him? How did they handle with Shea? It's a little different scenario, but like Shea was the youngest victim of tanking ever. There just was like 2 seasons where they're like, stop moving, don't get hurt. Mm-hmm. We promise we're almost there.
Yeah.
Stop playing. Take some games off.
Yeah, because he was reaching that level before they wanted him to.
And so then, I also wonder how much different we would regard and look at Shea if they would have just let him just go loose.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
there would definitely won more games. Our buddy Isaiah Roby might even still be there. Who knows? Because he would have been a part of that actual winning team. Because when he was there, they had to stop playing him a lot of time. Yeah, like when he was playing, they were winning more games. Like he played a lot more in their wins versus their losses. So I think he probably would have been a part of that rotation.
And I guess there's like a lot of the Roby thing blows because like he never had bad minutes. Mm-mm. He just didn't get a lot of them. And then the other thing,
a little bit older for.
Yeah, he was like older coming out of college because he was a 4-year.
He was junior, so he was a 3-year.
Was it just a 3?
Yeah.
I remember I wanted him to come back because he didn't get any Hoiberg years. He left
the same year that Tim Miles was fired.
Yeah.
But I know he had conversations with Hoiberg, and like Hoiberg was definitely wanting him to come back, but he was also like saying,
I get it.
Like he basically was like, it's probably best for your career if you do go into the draft right now, but we'd love to have you back.
This is the point that I was thinking. A lot of teams don't have size. That is a thing that a lot of teams lack.
Yeah.
Which seems crazy because I feel like there's more like big centers. I just think that like you're either a big center and you're insanely good or you don't exist. Mm-hmm. There's like a lot of teams that seem to lack the size component as like what's holding a lot of them back. I mean, we were just talking about the Knicks with their one big guy gone. They're on like kind of a second option that's working fine. He's playing well, but he's not that guy.
Yeah.
And then you've got teams like the Thunder where their only size is a just 7, whatever he is. Skinny Chet Holmgren. Granted, he plays bigger than he is. 7'1", but he's just skinny. He's not. He's not Joel Embiid 7'1". He is.
Yeah. He's 7'1", like 200 even, maybe 210 pounds.
He does play bigger because he gained a lot of weight. I think he does play bigger than he is, but he's not. He can get bullied by those types of big guys like Gobert and
regularly.
And all those guys.
Yeah. I don't know about Gobert because I don't know who Gobert is bullying, but yeah. Like post players for sure. Guys who are posting
I feel like we kind of went on a crazy rabbit hole and I lost my train of thought. And
Yeah, no. But yeah, I mean, Roby, though, we were just bringing him up.
Yes, Roby.
He's on the Knicks right now. Not on their full-time roster, but he's on their G League team, the Manchester Knicks, I want to say is what they're called.
That's something to look forward to, people listening. We will be doing a G League trivia with Logan at the end of today's episode, seeing if he can... I'll give him the NBA team and then kind of give him hints towards... Getting the name of the affiliate. The affiliate. Getting the help with that. So that'll be something to look forward to here in about probably 20 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess moving on to a different topic, since I don't even remember what topic we're talking about, we're kind of getting all over the place.
Topsy-turvy.
The All-Star rosters that have been announced.
Yes.
Taking a look at those. Obviously, we did that episode not too long ago with the Hoop Journal podcast. If you have not heard that, go check it out, where we drafted the All-Star teams. And since then, the actual roster has been announced. And there's been a couple reserves also announced as well because of some players who are going to be unavailable for the game, namely Joel Embiid and Julius Randle. Was he the one?
Julius Randle.
Yeah, Julius Randle.
Yep.
So the East has had a couple reserves in there. I don't know if the West has yet, but yeah, Jacob, I guess you, being a Celtics fan, had a rooting interest in more than just two this year, guys making the All-Star team. You could argue
I've started to call it, I've called it 3.5. Because I think Kristaps was a real, it makes sense. Because I think I've already said it in this episode that he is the best player on the Celtics a third of the time. Maybe 25% of the time. He's just the best player. There's some nights where he shows up and it's just, we're going to win.
It feels like
because this man is putting us on our back.
Every Boston game I've watched, KP's been huge. It's been not necessarily always putting up the most numbers, but he's just impacting the game the most because of how much he spaces the floor and how much he can pressure the rim at the same time. Just that duality is crazy.
That's always. But there's some games where he just takes over because the Jays are just not hitting. And then Derek White is the fourth one that kind of we're hoping. But if you do not know what they currently look like, I guess I'll start on the East because we were talking about the East. Giannis, Joel, Tyrese Halliburton, Dame, and Jason Tatum were the 5 starters in the East. Joel Embiid's not playing, and we'll get to the people replacing him in a second. The Eastern Conference reserves were Bam, Paolo, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle. The West has no All-Stars that need to be replaced, but the East 2 replacements are replacing, I'm guessing Embiid, because that had to be a forward, is...
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
And then replacing Randall, who is a wild card spot, was Trae Young. I was a little bit mad when not mad, I was like, dang it, I wish the Randall wild card spot would have been Kristaps, but whatever. But then the second time around, when it happened again, I was very bummed. Almost mad. I actually was mad. I was like, where's my boy Kristaps?
Yeah.
I get, but in a vacuum, Kristaps is a all-star before, Dame. Kristaps is more important to the Celtics, who are the 1 seed, than Dame is to the Bucks.
Maybe, I don't know. I'd say that's arguable for sure. I don't know if I would say that's an obvious
that's not true
thing. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying it's I don't know if I would go out.
It's closer than people think. It's the fan vote. I'm sure that's what did it in, because that's always what does it in.
Yeah, Dame shouldn't be a starter also, we should point out here. We pointed that out on the Hoop Journal podcast.
Jalen Brunson should be the starter.
Yeah,
it should be
Tyrese
for
Halliburton,
sure, without a doubt, should
Jalen Brunson. I would even say maybe even Maxey could be in there over Lillard.
But yes, Kristaps was not one, and Derek White was the way long shot. That was kind of a joke. But it would have been cool. Buffalo Soldier roaming around the All-Star weekend. And then also, we'll talk about this later, probably when we get closer. Something happened this year. Actual people are doing the contests. Apparently, Jaylen Brown might be doing the dunk contest.
Really?
That's
I haven't looked at anything.
A rumor?
So don't make me dissuade your confidence.
No, I know that I've seen that as a rumor for sure.
That's crazy. I know, obviously, the Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry 3-point shootout. That's gonna be fun. So are they going from different lines then? I've heard mixed reports on that.
So she openly tweeted she'd shoot from
NBA
the NBA line.
Yeah.
So I think they're from the same line. I think.
Yeah.
we'll know what happens when it happens. If she's shooting, should know. And for people saying that this will be a slaughter, I don't think people understand how good of a shooter she is.
Oh yeah.
And this is in a vacuum shooting drill.
And anybody,
there's no
it's a 3-point contest. Anybody can win a 3-point contest. I mean, I shouldn't say anybody. Anybody who's a really good shooter, like an NBA level shooter or like a WNBA level shooter, even as like one of the best of those, against any of the other people in that circle, anybody could win on any given day. It's just like it's very wishy-washy, on how many they'll make that day specifically.
Yeah. So people thinking that it'll just be a slaughter, I'm like, I don't think you understand. One, maybe it's how the 3-point contest works, or that how like actual much of a dog. I'm always scared to say her last name because I'm going to say it wrong.
Ionescu.
Ionescu? I
think so. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Ionescu.
Sabrina Ionescu, how good of a shooter she is. Oregon Ducks legend.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Jaylen Brown thing is like a strong, or is seriously or strongly considering participating in the dunk contest. So maybe that's just like a thing that got thrown out there, but that would be exciting. I think Jaylen Brown could be pretty good at the dunk contest, but he just seems like it has turned into like he's above that level because people that aren't like the dunk contest has just turned into like the nothingness. Garbage, kind of.
Yeah, honestly, it's still slotted as the primetime event, but it's definitely not anymore. The 3-point contest.
It's just crazy to think how we just took Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon dunk contest for granted.
Yeah,
I mean, that stretch was so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they've only had 2 against each other, but they were both.
I thought it was 3.
I think they've only both been in the same one twice. I want to say, and they were both the 2 finalists. It was
just twice.
Yeah.
And then Zach LaVine won, and then Aaron Gordon's like, I'm done forever.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure in the other one, Aaron Gordon should have won 2, but one of them was against Zach LaVine, the other one was against Derrick Jones Jr. Derrick Jones Jr. is the one that won because Dwayne Wade was one of the judges on the panel, and Derrick Jones played for the Heat. Like that, that's why a lot of people think so. But it's funny. Aaron Gordon probably should have won that one. Not taking anything away from Derrick Jones Jr. He had a great dunk contest that year as well. We've had some good ones, in the later teens, maybe once in the 20s we've had a good one. Mac McClung last year honestly wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it's
just like he's not an NBA player, so... You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he was only given a roster spot like a month before that or whatever, just so he could be in the dunk contest and like wear a Sixers jersey doing it,
Yeah. The last Oladipo one was also all right. I don't remember which one that was. Oladipo didn't win it.
Barely remember Oladipo doing a dunk. I do remember it now that you say it, but I feel like that was
a Pacers Oladipo.
Oh, really? I remember him doing it on the Magic for sure.
2018.
2018, okay. So that was the year before the Derrick Jones Jr. one, I think. I want to say. Maybe 2 years before. But regardless, I found the rules. It does say that Sabrina Ionescu...
No, 18 was the Dennis Smith Jr. one.
Not Dennis Smith Jr.
It was Oladipo, Gordon...
Derrick Jones Jr.
Yeah. Dennis Smith Jr. was in this one.
Mm-hmm. That one was good too.
It was Larry Nance, Dennis Smith Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Victor Oladipo.
Yeah. I remember that one. That was good. But, yes, apparently Steph Curry will be shooting from the NBA line with NBA basketballs. Sabrina will shoot from the WNBA line with WNBA basketballs, which I don't think there's really any problem with, number one. But number two, even if, I think it's fine to also do from the same line. I think, nothing wrong with that. The one thing that I don't get from people I see all the time on comments saying that they both need to use the same, she needs to use an NBA ball. Who cares?
That's crazy.
Why do you care what size of the ball?
That's crazy. Then, okay, my other question, why doesn't Steph shoot WNBA balls?
Yeah, exactly. That one's just dumb to me. I get the distance part, but who cares what size the ball is? Just you're just trying to make her worse because she, I feel like what makes you how good of a shooter you are, doesn't matter what size the ball is. You know what I mean? It's it's whatever you're used to. If you're trying to make her shoot with something that she doesn't normally shoot with, yeah, she's not going to do as well. That's just but that doesn't make her a worse shooter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of this, and I don't care who wins. I hope it's close.
Yeah,
I guess.
Obviously, yeah. I hope it's close, but it could go either way. But
I just don't think that people understand how how shooting works. Honestly,
yeah,
how like being a shooter works.
That's definitely the skill or the thing that WNBA players are the closest to the NBA players in, for sure. By far, actually, is their shooting, for sure.
Yeah. Then, what was the other thing? I had another thing, and I don't know.
About the All-Star?
I just scrambled brain today.
Yeah, All-Star weekend?
I'm done with All-Star now. I don't have anything else that I can think of. I talked about the Jaylen Brown thing. Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, but I guess I still think it's hard to pick between them now that I know that Sabrina is shooting from the WNBA line, which that's another thing I should look up. I don't even know how far that is. Is that just college range or is it?
I believe it is just college range.
3-point line distance. 20 feet, 6 inches. So, yeah, that is college, I believe, right? Or that might be a little bit closer than men's college. Oh, yeah, it is
21.
closer. Because I found 20 feet, 6 inches on WNBA line.
For 20.9 or 20 foot 9.
20
and now the new line is 22 foot and 3/4. It keeps moving out.
Which one are you talking about right now?
College men's basketball.
Yeah. College is 22 feet, 1 inch. And
1 3/4. Which it changed in 2019.
Oh, I didn't even know that they changed it. Interesting. Yeah, the NBA obviously is 23 feet, 9 inches. I always say 24 feet, but I guess it is just short of 24 feet. And then women's NCAA is 19.9. WNBA is 20 foot 6. And this says the new men's NCAA line is 20 foot 9, but I think that's outdated because of the new number we just saw was 22, 1 and 3/4 for some reason. Why add in a 3/4 of an inch? But maybe that's has to do with the corners. I guess
maybe
on the new NCAA line, do the corners cut at all, or is it still a semicircle?
I think they cut like NBA.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see that now. Yep. They do have a cut. Interesting. Well, that is that definitely makes it throws a little wrinkle in there that is hard to determine. But I'd still think that Steph is probably favorite. I'm not crazy or anything. Obviously, Steph is the favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying I don't think it's like it's a long shot for Sabrina to come close or to win it either. I mean, we've seen Steph lose a lot of 3-point contests at All-Star weekend, like to guys who are...
She just had I think technically she has the highest between WNBA and NBA. She had a 37-point 3-point contest.
Oh, really?
And like the WNBA like last year.
Oh, I think I saw the highlights from that actually. Or not the highlights.
I think it's 37.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Because that's in the new format, right? With the starry money balls.
I think they do the same format. I don't know. I'd assume they do the same format, but
yeah. So there's 16 1-point balls, and then there is 9 2-point balls, and there's 2 3-point balls. If my math is correct, because they have a full money ball rack and then 1 money ball at the end of each rack. But yeah, so that's pretty nuts.
Yeah,
I think that. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. I'm struggling.
Yeah, but yeah, I like the All-Star weekend, like the game, the actual teams. Just looking at those really quick again, because the new thing they're doing this year, they've changed it back to East versus West instead of doing captains and doing a draft, which I think is fun to spice things up and switch it back. I also like it better overall from the standpoint of like representing the different conferences.
This is the point when I talked about. I was thinking about baseball. You've wanted to expand to 15 teams. 15 players, sorry.
Yeah.
Baseball, All-Star Weekend, every team has a representative.
Really? I don't know if I would want that, honestly.
You don't think so? You think you'd rather have...
15 would get you to the same number as teams. Obviously, it would be 30 players, 30 teams in the league. But
that's what I was thinking.
I think some teams deserve to have multiple, though. So... I think that's probably the way to do it, honestly.
You would not rather have every team have a representative, at least one representative.
So does MLB, do they have the capability of doing more than one per team, though? Like, are there more than just the 32 roster? Or because baseball's 32, right? Or do they have 30 teams?
Baseball's 30.
Okay. So, yeah, I wonder if they can get more. But
they do 30, and then there's 9 on the field per side. There's 18. I don't know how many pitchers. I don't know how it all works.
Yeah.
But I just know that every team gets a player, I believe.
Gotcha. But yeah, looking at how they're doing it though this year with the East versus West, and Embiid's not playing, so the East starters would be backcourt of Dame and Tyrese Halliburton, and then Jason Tatum there on the wing with Giannis at the 4 probably, because the 5, I guess maybe Giannis at the 5, and then bring in Jaylen Brown. Wow, that's pretty slim pickings on the East bench.
No, I think it's got to be the guard. The guards wouldn't change.
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. When you said Halliburton, I thought Maxey. I was like, what are you talking? Now I'm tracking.
Yeah.
So the 4, I think it's just the most voted on forward would be the other starter, which I think was
Bam. He's at least the first listed.
But that might be alphabetical, because is it Bam then Jalen?
No, it's Bam then Paolo.
Yeah, so that's probably alphabetical.
Alphabetical last name, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely is, now that I look at it. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that turns out, but I think the West definitely has the advantage there just because of health, and because the West is just better over. I know a few years ago we started saying like, oh, the East is here, the time of the East is now, they're taking over, but it's still the West here a couple of years later. The West is definitely the more dominant conference in terms of the stars as well as the teams. Just a lot more going on out West because the stars, we got Luka, KD, SGA, LeBron, and Jokic, which are all like top 10 MVP candidates. Not really. I guess LeBron right now at this point because the Lakers have slid so much, and KD's borderline. But the other 3 though are all top. You could say those are the top 3 for MVP right now.
No.
Is Jokic, Shea, and Luka.
I think that is disrespectful to Giannis, but yeah.
I'm just saying you could say those. You could put those 3.
Yeah.
And put Giannis 4.
You could. Now I'm tracking. Yeah.
Giannis is definitely the other guy though. Tatum's close, but
Tatum I think is like a shelf below.
Those guys.
I think him and Luka are both lower. Luka more because of his team, and Tatum because of him. They're just on. It's the top 3: Giannis, Jokic. In the order, I'd go Jokic, Giannis, SGA, probably.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's crazy.
But the only reason I've got Luka and Tatum on that Tatum, it makes sense why he's on the little drop below. But Luka just because his team is good, but not quite that level of crazy.
Oh yeah, and they've been a very mediocre team since their hot start. Our prediction early before the season is not looking that crazy anymore. Of us both picking their under and me locking their under. It's going to be close for sure, but that's not that wild anymore for sure. But yeah, I guess moving into our final thing on the docket today, Jacob mentioned, this was last episode at the start, that he was wondering if I wanted to try to do a G League trivia quiz, because sometimes we play trivia games here for some segments on some episodes, but just asking, I guess, the different teams and what the affiliate of that NBA team is in the G League. And I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I definitely know several for sure, but it might be difficult on some. So we'll see how I do here. I have not prepared at all or anything, but we'll see.
Yeah. I figured we'd start off easy for you. So what I'll do is I'll give you the NBA team, and then you will give me the G League affiliate. And if you're struggling to get there, we'll kind of do hints and then work our way closer.
Mm-hmm.
The Denver Nuggets is how we will start off easy. The G League affiliate for Denver is what?
The Grand Rapids Gold.
That one is correct. It is the Grand Rapids Gold.
And I'm not even sure what Grand Rapids that is. I thought it was Michigan originally because that's the Grand Rapids I automatically think of, obviously. But I think it might be... Is there a Grand Rapids in South Dakota or Wyoming that would be closer? Because I think I saw something about that recently. That there was a Grand Rapids that's a somewhat major for, South Dakota or Wyoming, the size of state that they are, or states that they are. But that might be totally wrong.
It's in Michigan.
It's in Michigan? Okay. That would make the most sense, for a team market-wise, city-wise, but proximity, I was just wondering.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The proximity side of it. Looking at another team, we will go with the Golden State Warriors. I feel like is another easy one because I feel like you hear about them quite a bit because some of their major stars have dipped down to the ranks of the G League affiliate, which is
Santa Cruz Warriors.
The Santa Cruz Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. Some of them share names. Obviously, we saw the Nuggets gold. It's like a play on it. They don't share names.
Yeah.
Another one. This one's kind of a more unique one in terms of the location. It's kind of out of nowhere. What is the Minnesota Timberwolves G League affiliate?
I feel like I know this one. There's like, it's multiple wolves in the logo. Is it like Wolf Pack or something like that?
Unless it might have changed, but no. What the logo currently is, it looks like the Timberwolf.
Yeah.
Looking forward as opposed to howling up. It's like to the side and looking forward.
And so do they have a different
same colors.
Mascot name?
It's Wolves. It's not T-Wolves. It's just Wolves.
Oh, okay.
Some notable players on... Oh, never mind. That's a different team.
And are they... The location name, is that like is it a city? Is it... Don't tell me what it is. But
it's just a state.
It's still Minnesota? Or no, it's Iowa.
Nope.
It's Iowa, right?
It's Iowa.
Yeah.
It's Iowa.
I knew that.
Iowa Wolves.
They used to be the Iowa Stampede. Before they were I think they were the Wolf Pack at one point after the Stampede. And then I guess just recently they must have just changed to Iowa Wolves. But
let's head to the Northeast. We'll hit a couple teams up there as we leave the Midwest. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Philadelphia 76ers. Is it like the Delaware Bluecoats?
Oh, on the nose.
Okay.
It is the Delaware Bluecoats.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think I've seen that on 2K before. When you're on the roster, you can send players down to the G League, you know?
Oh.
Celtics.
What is the Celtics G League affiliate?
You've said this on the podcast before. It used to be the Maine Red Claws, but now it's the Maine Celtics.
It is no longer the Maine Red Claws. R.I.P.
Yeah.
It is the Maine Celtics. Trying to see if there's any other ones. Trying to find some of the ones that are more unique that don't share. A lot of them are like different city, but Spurs, for example, is one where they're still the Spurs, but it's not San Antonio.
Yeah, here we go. What are they, though? Are they the Austin Spurs?
Austin Spurs. What is the G League affiliate for the New Orleans Pelicans? It makes... Nothing about it makes sense.
Okay.
Geographically, kind of.
Branding-wise, though? Is it any... It's not similar at all? Don't tell me anything.
Maybe. Hold on. Let me see, actually.
You said geographically it makes some sense.
Okay. I apologize to the branding of the G League affiliate of the Pelicans. It is a name for a group of pelicans, is what they are. It makes no sense. It's not like a word that you'd be like, oh, that makes sense for a group of pelicans.
Oh. So it's not like flock or something like that, obviously.
No.
I have no idea. Is it like a word that means something else?
Yes. Most commonly, you would hear this word probably associated with the military.
Platoon. Or is it like in the military? You were right okay,
on the right
in the right pocket there. Okay. So brigade.
Well, that would be hard. If you knew the city name, that would be hard.
Birmingham?
It is Birmingham.
Okay.
Birmingham Brigade would be a sick name.
Yeah, I was already thinking Birmingham because that would be a major city in the South down there close to New Orleans-ish, but I guess there's what?
I was just thinking Brigade, that would be Birmingham Brigade would be crisp.
Yeah.
But brigades are not a group of pelicans.
Squadron.
It is Squadron.
Really?
Birmingham Squadron.
That one was like the least confident guess out of the three for me.
And that's why I was like, why? I was like, because I just said Squadron, I was confused, and then I was like, well, maybe. So that's why I looked it up, and it is, in fact, one of the names for a group of pelicans is a squadron.
Mm.
This one I feel like is pretty popular because it's kind of a wild name. The Indiana G League affiliate, the Pacers G League affiliate.
I was thinking like Fever came to mind, but that's a WNBA team, right?
That is the WNBA team.
Indiana. Oh, the Fort Wayne Mad Ants.
Yeah, it's Mad Ants, but it's Indiana now. But it is Mad Ants.
Oh, but they were just recently were Fort Wayne, right? Because that's when they won the G League championship. Chris Middleton used to play for them.
Did not more, Cleveland. What is their G League team?
The Charge, Cleveland Charge.
It is
Columbus.
the Cleveland Charge.
Oh, is it Cleveland?
No, it is Cleveland Charge. Ooh, the Rockets G League affiliate.
Rockets G League affiliate.
This is a mouthful. 4 words.
Is it like is it Hispanic at all?
Yeah.
It is. Is that in it?
Nope.
No.
It's not San. It is not a San. It is not named after a saint.
Mm-hmm.
It is named after a river.
A river? In Houston? Or is this not in Houston?
I don't think it's in Houston.
Oh, something Rio Grande, right? The Rio Grande. Yep. Is that the location name or is that the...
That's the location. It is the Rio Grande Bang Bang. There's 2 more words still.
I feel like seems vaguely familiar. The Rio Grande.
It is a 9-syllable team name. Rio Grande. Yeah, 7.
7 syllable.
Yeah. Rio Grande.
So
Rio
4
Grande
more
is 3.
syllables. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an alliteration where it's the same first letter.
Alliteration with Rio? No,
with itself.
Okay.
The next 2 words are. It's tough. I don't know.
Is this like don't just tell it to me, but like it? What does it have to? Is it an animal? Is it like are they words that go together?
No. So it's a geographical thing, like a physical. What do they call those? A feature, a physical feature.
Okay, physical feature.
And then an animal, and they both start with the same letter.
Mountain.
Nope.
Canyon.
A mountain causes one of these. Almost a canyon.
Gorge.
Softer sides than a gorge.
Valley. Valley vultures? Valley.
Think just not vultures. Is
it a bird?
I don't want to just say what. It's not a bird.
Starts with a V. Vipers. Valley Vipers.
It is
I've definitely heard of that.
Rio Grande Valley Vipers.
Yeah. There we go. I can
Milwaukee's,
see their colors are like blue and bright green, right? They have neon green in there. No?
Nope. I think you're mixing up the logo with the Florida A&M HBCU school.
Oh.
Which is like a snake. That's those colors.
Okay.
The Valley Vipers are just the Rockets colors.
Oh. Gotcha.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Wisconsin Herd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, I know this because Isaiah Roby, friend of the show, used to play there. The Texas Legends.
Yes, sir. And then the Clippers. Oh, we already talked about this.
No, we didn't.
Kind of last episode.
Oh, man.
Their mascot is the Clippers, so you're just trying to think of the geographical location.
I don't remember talking about this at all, especially last episode. I don't know. But they're like Oh, no, we might have touched on it last episode, actually.
Because it makes no sense.
It's a city in Mexico?
No, it's not Mexico.
No? It's in Canada. California? Oh, it's in Canada. Yeah, okay, you said that before. It's a city in British Columbia, right? Or is it a major city?
No. It's a major city.
Like one that already has like a hockey team, probably, right? It has an NHL team?
No.
No, it doesn't? So it's not like one of the big 3 cities in Canada. It's not like that major. It's like it's top 10-ish, but not like top 5.
Yes.
Okay. Winnipeg, that's probably top. Yeah, because they definitely
have a hockey team.
Yeah. Saskatoon?
Nope.
No? What province is it in? Can you tell me that? Or at least what half of the east-west divide of Canada is it on?
Oh, just kidding. I think.
Yeah, just tell me east-west. Don't tell me the province.
It is the province.
It's named after the province? Okay, so then there's only a few options. Is it Alberta?
No.
Is it on the other side? East?
Yep. It's to the east.
Ontario?
Yes.
Okay.
The Ontario Clippers. Wait, there is an Ontario, California.
Oh, it's in California. Okay, that makes way more sense. Is it close? Is it like a suburb of
yeah.
LA?
It's in San Bernardino County.
So is that LA or San Diego?
San Diego, I think.
Oh, okay. San Diego.
Well, oops. I thought I looked and I got the vibes that it was in Canada, but I'm obviously very wrong. Speaking of Canada, what is the Raptors G League affiliate?
The Raptors G League affiliate, are they like the Ottawa? No.
It's so dumb. It makes no sense. If you didn't know it off the rip, I don't think you'll get there.
Is it not have anything to do with the Raptors?
It's very much with the Raptors.
Is it dinosaurs? Like, is it
No,
is
I
it?
think it
Sorry.
it is a dinosaur,
Okay, that's what I was asking.
but it is like
Velociraptors?
I think it's
Just kidding.
it is just raptors.
They're called the Raptors.
But it's raptors and then a number.
Oh, I know this. Not 90. 905. 905 Raptors. Yeah.
It's Raptors 905. I don't know why
I think people usually
that's...
say 905 Raptors, though. I want to say. People usually say it
I
that
just
way.
know that it's like written like Raptors is the city and 905 is the mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other ones that I feel like we...
That's weird.
Or like, the final boss. Because if you don't know, you'll never get this one.
Final boss? We haven't done all the teams yet, have we?
Most of them are like... We can go through all the teams. Most of them are super easy.
I thought we were, but...
Oh, yeah. The San Antonio Spurs affiliate.
Austin Spurs.
That one. Yep. The Atlanta Hawks. Oh, this one's harder.
Atlanta Hawks. Is it in Georgia? Or is it Jackson? Or like...
No.
This one can't be Birmingham because that's New Orleans.
I don't think that this is not, like... It doesn't feel like it's a place, necessarily. It's not like I'm sure it's the city name, but there might be one of these in all 50 states.
Oh.
Like, it's not going to give away anything helpful.
Okay.
If you've not heard it.
I don't know if I have.
It is...
Is it bird related? Is their mascot bird related?
Their mascot is bird related.
Is it the Hawks?
It's the Lincoln Southwest. No, that's silver.
So,
it's
Golden
not
Hawks?
Hawk. It's a type of hawk. No, it's not a color. It's a place. It's a thing. Hawks.
Wait, place or thing?
It's like a both.
A physical feature again?
Yeah, kind of.
Valley hawk, like that type of thing.
No,
Mountain hawk.
Yeah.
Forest hawk. Is that close?
What do hawks fly through?
The air. Skyhawk.
Skyhawks. It's the College Park Skyhawk.
Oh. Okay.
That's what I was like. I don't think there's going to be anything helpful about
that. Might be around it. I think that, I'm pretty sure that is a suburb of Atlanta now. I'm pretty sure, because Outkast, for anybody who listens to Outkast out there.
Are they from College Park?
No, they're from Atlanta, but like they have a couple songs where they like the background, somebody is just saying a bunch of like cities or like neighborhoods, areas around Atlanta, and they say College Park, I'm pretty sure.
College Park?
Yeah.
The Detroit Pistons G League affiliate.
That is the Motor City Cruise.
Yep. Buddy Boeheim is a Motor City Cruise
Still?
player. Yeah.
Nice.
Charlotte Hornets.
Swarm. Something Swarm.
Swarm.
They're not the Charlotte Swarm though, right?
Nope. They are about the only other North Carolina city that you would think of. That's
Raleigh?
not a college town. There's two of them. And
So
it's
not Raleigh.
Sorry.
And it's not Wilmington?
It's not Raleigh. Nope. Maybe there's... I think differently for cities in North Carolina than you do.
There's Greenville, there's Fayetteville.
It's not Greenville. It's not called Greenville. What's it called?
Salisbury.
It's not Greenville.
What?
It's not called Greenville. What's it called?
Oh,
that's the town you're thinking of.
so okay. Yeah. I thought you just kept telling me that specific one was wrong. I was like, I've said other ones.
No.
Greensboro,
it's
right?
It's Greensboro.
Oh yeah. Okay. There's not a Greensville. I was just mixing up.
There is a Fayetteville.
Yeah, there's Fayetteville.
Okay.
I knew that, but I think I was just mixing up Greensboro and Fayetteville. Greensboro Swarm.
Yes, sir. Now we are on to... I skipped... Well, the ones that were kind of like crummy. We're going to have a lot of those because I skipped over those. The Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets. Are they New Jersey?
No, that'd be awesome. They are a
borough?
A borough.
Okay.
Different borough. I think this is a different borough. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the 5 boroughs are Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. So it's none of those. Harlem.
No.
So is it in New York?
Yes. I think
it's like a neighborhood.
It's not a neighborhood. It is a location, but not a neighborhood.
It's a location.
I believe Manhattan is on this.
Oh, Long Island?
Yeah.
Manhattan's not. Yeah, Brooklyn is on Long Island, but
Brooklyn's on Long Island.
Yeah.
On the other side of Long Island, like
on the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge connects the mainland to Long Island. Brooklyn is on the Long Island side of the bridge.
Then the Memphis.
So wait,
Grizzlies
are they're the Long Island Nets? Okay. Yeah. Memphis Grizzlies. That's easy. That's Memphis Hustle.
Yes, sir. The Oklahoma City Thunder.
They are the Oklahoma City Blue, right?
Yes. You will not get this one. I can almost promise you.
Okay.
The Magic.
It has nothing to do with them?
No, it is. You won't get the city.
But it is the Magic.
It is the Magic.
Okay. The city is not in Florida?
It is in Florida. It's a suburb of Orlando, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
There is a city in Nebraska, or it's a village in Nebraska has the same name. It's in between York and Aurora, I think.
Okay. Man, I'm being tested on my memory of... It's on the interstate between them? No?
It's not.
I mean, York...
It's just...
Between York and Aurora is the... Right? Am I wrong? The interstate connects York to Aurora?
Yes, it does. I was saying that it is in between the two as in, like...
Size? Is that what you're saying?
No. It's also... I was wrong. It's not where I thought it was. It's straight north of York.
Straight north of York?
You won't know this one. I don't even know if you know.
I want to try.
If I say it, I don't. Okay, it's the closest cities to it are Stromsburg and Shelby. It's near Silver Creek.
Oh,
kind of near Silver Creek.
Is it like a normal?
It's on Highway 81.
Is it like a word? Or is it like a name?
It is like a name.
Is it like a weird name? Like it sounds.
Yes.
Is it Kissimmee?
No.
Because I've never heard of that in terms of Nebraska, but I know the Kissimmee, Florida. But it's definitely not Cocoa Beach. There's nothing in Nebraska called Cocoa Beach. Is it one word?
Yes. Starts with an O.
I think I'm gonna have to give up.
It's the seat of Polk County.
What is it? Does it rhyme with something?
A lot of things. Like it ends in L-A.
Ocala?
Nope.
I was gonna say that's not in Orlando or not around Orlando. It ends with L-A.
Yeah. Starts with an O.
Starts with O. Ends in L-A. Ogallala. That's not where at all.
Okay, I was like, Logan, come on. That's not where we're at.
Yeah, I know, but I was just...
I'm pretty sure high school's mascot's a bulldog. They consolidate with Shelby Rising City on some sports.
Shelby Rising City? Are they in Nebraska's... Or not Nebraska, in Milford's
No,
class?
they're smaller. They play 8-man football probably. Probably D1. Maybe D2.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to give up.
Yeah, it's Osceola.
Oh! Okay, so I know that as a Florida city. I don't really know that as a Nebraska
That's
city.
Crazy!
Yeah. Osceola, yeah. I've definitely seen that in relation to Florida.
That's crazy that you know that as a Florida city.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever noticed that as a Nebraska town. Osceola. But yeah, so are there any more? I know that there's at least one more. That's on my mind.
Oh, Portland.
Portland.
What is their G League affiliate?
Is it in Salem? Is it another city in Oregon?
Nope.
Or it's the Oregon something, right?
It is not the Oregon something. It's a playoff of Portland. What is Portland?
Rip City. They're the Rip City Blazers.
Nope.
Rip City. It's what? DJs.
Nope. But what is the DJ doing? He's remixing. It's the Rip City remix.
Oh, okay. I never would have gotten that. Rip City remix. Yeah. Okay. Utah
Jazz.
I think I've heard this one. It has something to do with jazz, right?
Nope.
Or music? No, it doesn't.
Other than you could call this not really at all. Like it's a real stretch.
They're the Salt Lake something, right? Salt Lake.
Yep, the Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City.
There is a hockey team that shares this mascot with them.
Does it make sense for Utah? Specifically?
Unless there's something about Utah I don't know.
It's just
I would not
generic?
say no. It's not like the Salt Lake City Mormon Trail or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it's not the Salt Lake City Red Rocks. Red Rock is. That's Colorado.
Yeah.
If you look up at night, Utah, you can probably see a lot of them.
Stars.
Because there's
Salt Lake City Stars.
Stars.
I think I've seen that
The
before.
Stars.
Yeah.
Miami Heat.
This is the one that I was prepared for this game because during the finals I saw when they showed all the players that they've had play for their G League team that were in the rotation for their playoff team. It was the Sioux Falls Skyforce.
Yes, sir.
So not too far from where I am at right now. It's just a couple hours north.
Did we do the Lakers?
I don't think so. The
Lakers.
Los Angeles, or is it not? Is it a major city or is it Anaheim? They're Anaheim something, right?
No, it's probably a part of Los Angeles.
Palmsdale, Palm Springs.
I think it's more of like a
San.
It's just a part of the county. It's a region. It's not even a city.
Orange County?
No, it's not. It's a region. It's not a county. It's a region in Los Angeles County is called this.
Long Beach.
There's a cardinal direction and then a way that water meets land. A fancy geography term.
North Bay, South Bay. South Bay Lakers.
South Bay Lakers.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of that.
Sacramento.
Sacramento. For some reason I want to say the Stockton Kings. Is that right?
It is the Stockton
Where
Kings,
is Stockton?
Yeah. I have no idea.
that felt like it was just wrong because it was like Stockton, I think of like John Stockton, obviously.
Yeah.
Huh. Are those all of them?
Nope. We got a couple more. New York Knicks.
Manchester.
Not man. It's close. It's a Chester.
Not Manchester, but it is a Chester. Not Worcester.
The cardinal direction Chester.
Westchester Knicks.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then the Chicago Bulls.
Chicago Bulls. Is this like the Stampede or the...
It's still the Bulls.
It's still the Bulls?
It's just a fun word. Fun
Windy
name
City.
for Chicago.
Windy City Bulls. I can see their logo now.
And now the final boss. Unless you already know it, then it won't be very hard.
Yeah.
The Washington Wizards.
Oof. Is it a play on like the capital city something? Is like...
That is the location, but the mascot is Wild.
Okay. The capital city is the location.
Yeah, so it's called Capital City.
Alliteration? Is it
Nope.
a C? Capital City. I feel like it's something like not even like a sports team name. Like it's like
There's a famous rock band.
called that.
Well, I wouldn't call them rock. Like
Current day?
80s?
Oh, 80s.
No, like 80s, like all girl band, I think.
An all-girl band in the 80s.
I'm just going to look to make sure.
The Hearts.
It is the 80s, and it is an all-girl band. The song that I know best is on their album Beauty and the Beat.
Oh.
And it is...
Keep going. Is it She Got...
And the song that I know best is We Got the Beat.
We Got the Beat. Or I thought it was called She Got the Beat. We Got the Beat, yeah. So is it the Hearts? Did I just say that? Or is that wrong?
Nope, it's not the Hearts.
They sing Barracuda, right? The Hearts. I want to say?
It's just Heart.
Or Heart. Yeah.
And Heart sings Barracuda, Crazy on You, Alone.
So We Got the Beat is by... It's like one word. What letter does it start with?
Hyphenated word. A G.
Capital City Gargoyles.
Nope.
Capital City. Is it like? Can you describe what it is? It an adjective? Like that hyphenated thing is an adjective.
It is. What would you call this word? It's like two declarations that are hyphenated and put together. Like
I know it. I know it.
Yep.
And I feel like I would just block this out of my memory because I hate this name. I've heard it before for the capital city blank blank. I hate it. The capital city Go-Go.
I also do. It is the capital city Go-Go's.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is, and I don't want to look.
Yeah. I hate that so much. It's like if I played for, I would be like, trade me. I'm not, even though I'm finally in the NBA world. You know, I've reached my dream of being here. I'm not going to play for this G League team. I'm going to go play in
Also,
Europe.
looking at the Stockton Kings, there's some wild people on here. Jeremy Lamb, Scal Labissiere.
Right now?
Stanley Johnson.
Wow, it's a lot of veterans.
Deontay Burton.
Oh, yeah. Some vets out there in Stockton, wherever that is. If it might be
Shabazz Muhammad.
Shabazz Muhammad. Wow.
These are all listed as members of the Stockton Kings.
That's pretty crazy.
I feel like they should be insanely good.
Yeah, for a G League team, you would think.
Maybe they are. I haven't looked at the standings of this whole thing. No, it looks like the Delaware Bluecoats are saucy at 10-5. The College Park Skyhawks are also 10-5. And the Indiana Mad Ants at 10-6. In the East. In the West, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, 12-3. And the Sioux Falls Skyforce are 12-4.
Is the Mexico City Capitanes, are they in the standings? Or do they just play the G League team sometimes? I don't know if they're...
Wow. Also, G League Ignite.
Ignite, yeah.
How good do you think they are?
I think they're... I don't know. I guess I don't know what the record is, but I know that they have a lot of good players.
They're 1-17.
1-17. I know they have a lot of good players right now. Matas Buzelis is there right now, and who's that other guy? Ron Howard. Those are going to be two of the top picks here shortly.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about the Mexico City Capitanes.
I know that somebody. Oh man, what's his name? Somebody from South America plays there now. Who used to be the Giannis, the Brazilian Giannis? Remember the
Nene?
No,
Nene?
No. The Brazilian Giannis, Bruno Caboclo. Pretty sure he's there. But yeah, anyways, we could probably wrap this up now. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get something to eat and let Jacob move on with his life. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please check out the next episode. We'll be recording it during the final hour of the deadline, the NBA trade deadline, reacting to all the things that are happening. So that's why we didn't really talk too much about the trade deadline today. We did a little bit, but not too much. Saving that for next episode. So check that out when it drops. Thank you guys for listening. Stay happy, stay healthy. We'll talk to you guys next episode.
Peace.